Now we're going to look at what we call a volume weighted average price. The volume weighted average price is graphed on our screens with a yellow line. The yellow line is a dashed line, as you can see here as I'm highlighting it. And above that line is the standard deviation of that line 1, and then the standard deviation line 2 is solid. And you can see price action generally will stay within these ranges, higher and lower of the volume weighted average price, so standard deviation 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. You can see how on this particular day it kind of ranged up to the top side and then back down to the low side and kind of hung around. So we use the volume weighted average price to determine if we're in a bullish phase, if we're in a bearish phase, or if we're in a consolidation phase. As you can see in this day, it's kind of back and forth between the volume weighted average price, and then you had a breakdown in price, and then you can see the range expands open. So these ranges and these zones associated with volume weighted average price are very critical to your intraday trading. We label these different things zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1 is below price of the lowest standard deviation band. 2 is the next level. 3 is in between here. 4 is at volume weighted average price. 5 is above, 6 is the next, and 7 is above it. So on this particular day, you can see it kind of ranged all over those. It actually hit the 7 mark up here, and then now down here, we're below everything and we're in the 1 mark. So zone 1s are more bearish action, and zone 7s are more bullish action. So you look at this previous day here. Here's an example. It broke above volume weighted average price, rose to the highest band, and started pushing price above that band, which shows very bullish action. So these zones allow you, especially if it's in a trend day, show you basically how you should be viewing the day. If something's breaking down immediately, you're looking for a more bearish day. If something's breaking up and pushing zone 7, you're looking probably more bullish day. Let's look at a different day. Here we're looking at January 27th. On this day, price opened up. You can see volume weighted average price doesn't really set a trend until after kind of an opening range of 30 minutes. It looked like we were actually rising above volume weighted average price. We had a little bit of back and forth this day, but then you started seeing some resistance where price action started to get rejected at volume weighted average price and pushed into the lower section, testing this kind of morning range, and lost that level. And as it lost that level, it started pushing zone 1 as it went down. You can see that this is a bearish tone to the day, and we finished significantly lower. Open was at 438, and closed closer to 431. So you can kind of see, based on this action and using volume weighted average price and rejections at the middle line or breakouts of the middle line, can show you a possible change in trend for the day. That's how volume weighted average price is used many times. Here's, let's look at the 28th. This is the very next day. You can see volume weighted average price kind of opening range. We tried to break out, retested the previous day low, retested the previous day close, had a big bar here, a little bit of volume, and then look what's happened. Here's volume weighted average price, tested that level, broke out above it, started pushing back into, here's zone 7, here's zone 7 candles, and what happened? The rest of this day ended up being a lot more bullish. And you can see the bands, as I highlight these bands, they get wider. So that's showing the price action expansion that you need to be looking for on a bullish trade, or here as it expands on this day, or a bearish trade. Either way, watching what the bands do in a widening formation shows you a potential move in that direction. So that's the volume weighted average price. These particular components are configurable to change how they're displayed. If you want to see that, you just right click, hit edit study, and you go in here and you change either the color you want on the volume weighted average price, or you can go through and change how these different bands are displayed, the colors and so forth. If you want to see the bubble out here to the right, All that stuff is configurable for you within the parameters of the script.